Today we're talking about the National Geographic Pottery Wheel for kids, a great way to introduce children to ceramics. My name's MJ at Outpost Pottery, and over the next several minutes I'm going to show you how to get set up, how to throw your first pot. We're going to learn some pottery basics and hopefully spark in you a love for clay that far outlasts this starter kit. Let's get started. Here's everything you'll find in the box. The arm consists of 3 pieces that screw into place. Check and make sure the arm doesn't catch it all. If you're right-handed, go ahead and attach it to the right screw-in port. If you're left-handed, you can put it in the left port. First off, we're going to use the centering tool. You want the round, smooth part of this tool to face inward. There's a small X on the arm that the attachments snap into. Next, we're going to plug it in. The button on the right-hand side adjusts the speed. There's 2 speeds, medium and fast. The button on the left-hand side reverses the direction of the wheel. In general, if you're right-handed, you want the wheel to spin counterclockwise. If you're left-handed, you want it to spin clockwise. Orient the pottery wheel so the bat is facing you. Let's grab some clay and get started. Place the clay in the center of the blue bat and press it firmly down. Apply water and press down firmly. At this stage, we're trying to make sure the clay is secured to the bat. Now let's introduce the centering tool. Your left hand becomes the constraint on the top, while the centering tool becomes the constraint on the outside, pushing all the clay to the center. Centering is the hardest part of pottery, whether it's a toy or a professional wheel. Don't get discouraged, just keep trying. Now let's remove the centering tool and attach the opening tool. It clips into that same X-hole. I like to make a small dot, then fill it with water. Push the opening tool down again, then fill it with water. Water acts as a lubricant in pottery. It keeps everything moving smoothly. Be sure you don't press the arm down all the way. If you do, you might cut a hole right in the bottom of your pot. Keep applying water as you're opening up the pot. Steadily move the arm out, keeping everything well lubricated with water. You don't want to have standing water in the base of your pot. Compress the lip so it's nice and smooth. Now I'm going to reattach the centering tool. You can also use the profile tool at this stage, but since I want to go straight up, we're going to use the centering tool. Fill your sponge with water and drizzle a little bit of water on the outside wall as you're pushing in with your hand and the centering tool. Now let's take your left middle finger and lightly pull up on the inside of the wall, pressing the clay upward against the centering tool. This causes some of the clay to rise higher and higher. Don't forget to clean out the water from the base and compress your lip. Don't forget to clean up excess water as you go and empty it into your water basin. Grab a sharpened pencil and let's make a little foot at the base. This will help us slide our wire tool underneath and separate the clay from the wheelhead. Make sure your hands are clean, grab your wire, and cut the pot from the wheelhead. Be careful at this stage because that clay is still pretty wet. Gently handle it and place it where you want it to dry. Congratulations, you made your first pot. Be sure to clean out the inside of the pottery wheel from excess water. Also scrub down that bat so you can start fresh on your next pot. So that's an overview on how to use this National Geographic pottery wheel for kids. Now let me give you some basics on how to throw pots like a real potter. Let's take this arm off. Grab a hunk of clay, place it firmly in the center, and press it down to secure it to the bat. Now let's put it on full speed, drizzle some water, and let's secure this clay even more firmly to the bat. Centering clay involves a wall and a top, pushing clay into the centermost part of the wheelhead. In this instance, my left hand is going to be the wall and my right hand is going to be the top. Pushing firmly with both hands, I press the clay toward the center, keeping it well lubricated as I go. This trick is called coning. You squeeze your hands together and draw the clay up into a cone shape. This gets all the clay particles aligned going in a circle, but it also helps you center. My left hand's the wall hand and my right hand is the top hand as I squish the clay down into a more centered ball. Now I'm using my right hand as my wall hand and my left hand as the top hand. In both instances, my hands are pushing toward the middle of the wheelhead, trying to compress that clay to the centermost point. Okay, there we go. Now I take my thumb and just clearly define that edge. And let's get started. I'm going to get it wet and put a little bit of water in the top and put a little hole in there. Now I'm going to fill that hole with more water and make it a little bit bigger. This is exactly like we did with the opening tool earlier. Keep filling it and keep moving those fingers out. Now I'm going to take my thumb and push it laterally all the way across the base to get a real flat bottom to my pot. Remove excess water, and I like to throw in a little swirl here. Now I'm going to color the clay. I put my hands on the outside of the clay form and I move them in to form a volcano shape. There we go. Now let's pull up some walls. The first thing I do is I create a little tuft of clay on the outside. This small tuft of clay I'm going to pull up. Don't forget to compress the lip at the top. Let's get it wet again, keep it nice and lubricated. Get rid of excess water in the base. And let's form another little tuft of clay. The middle finger on my left hand is pushing out, while my pointer finger on my right hand is pulling up the clay. I keep those two fingers an equal distance apart to give a clean, consistent width to the wall all the way up. There we go. Compress the lip. Now this lip looks pretty good, but let me show you a trick. Grab that sharpened pencil again, and with two fingers gently against the lip, press the point of the pencil slowly into the top of the clay. This is going to level out that lip if there's any inconsistencies. Grab your sponge and compress the lip, smooth it out, and you've got a pot. Get rid of that excess water and let's clean up that base with the pencil tool again. Go ahead and stop the wheel and get any excess off. Do some last minute finishing touches with the sponge. And let's cut it off with the cutoff wire. Get your hands nice and clean and dry, and voila! There we have it. That's how you would throw a real pot on a real potter's wheel. At the end of the day, this is a toy, but I hope it becomes a tool that helps you and your kids fall in love with clay. For more tutorials, reviews, or tools, be sure to check out our shop on Amazon. I'm MJ at Outpost Pottery. Thanks for watching and keep on learning.